Hello, everyone. I just wanted to make sure my Wi-Fi was off because it always causes a problem. And I want to thank, I'm Ed Parcaut, the host of Real Estate Jerky. We do a radio show over the weekends, and then we do these lives during the week. Today, I have Bobby Atkins on again. And one of the things, hello, Bobby. Sorry, I'm jumping right into it.
That's right, Ed.
Faux focused. All right. When we were talking before we were doing the show, we were gonna do a totally different show, and then he came up with something that kind of happened to him over the weekend, and we were talking about how to get your offer accepted in this market. We kind of did one of these a long time ago, but what we're running into more than anything else is people are writing over asking a lot, and it's nothing new. They've been doing this for a while, a couple of years now. What with inventory being at 19% lower than it was a year ago, which was 12% lower than the year before, which was COVID, this is going to get worse and worse. So I wanted to talk about what you can do to offset that kind of stuff. And one of the things, and I'll shut up here in a second, but one of the things I think a lot of people are worried about, if they write it too far over, the appraised value is not going to come in. And I haven't seen an appraisal not come in on a purchase in a very long time. Have you?
No, we haven't. A few years ago, we'd see it, every once in a while, but as of recently, almost every time you hear we found value,
Right. One of the things I want to kind of get over, and if we can talk about up front, was you had an offer. You wrote an offer on a property last weekend.
Yeah.
And it was listed for $469. Somebody wrote, what did you guys offer on it?
So we wrote it at $485.
Right. Okay.
Clean offer, not asking for anything.
What kind of, was it, a FHA, VA, conventional?
It's a FHA, yeah.
With 3.5% down kind of thing. So
yeah.
All right. So all right. I'm sorry. It's an FHA?
Or no, sorry. It's conventional.
Okay, I was going to say, there's no way it was FHA with this price point. Anyway, conventional, whatever, we'll just say it's 3 or 5% down. Well, what you run into, no matter what your offer is, when you're writing over asking, a lot of people are afraid that it's not worth that value, and that's going to have an issue. And I kind of wanted to go over one of the companies I work with a lot, which is MBS Highway. They put out these little things on bid over ask and how your appreciation is and why it's important not to worry about bidding over asking and why you should do it and just move forward. And I want to talk about that first, and then we can talk about how you can get the money to do it, besides releasing all your contingencies in this market, which makes a lot of people scared. So if you want to, let's just get in that real quick. Let's add this to stream. All right. So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Is that big enough for everybody to see? All right, so this is what we've been looking at. So basically the same scenario, right? That we're going to say that they wrote the offer for $515. That's what they paid. They bought in 2022 in February, right? Just closed. The current asking price was $469. They did $46,000 over asking, which seems like a lot, right?
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so but the estimated value, even though is really on this property that we're talking about, is $478,380. So actually, the original asking price was under market value. That's why this works so well. So let's see. All right, so bid over asking. So basically, you're looking at $469, 46 over, total bid $515. Estimated current value is $478,380. I'm just reiterating what we're doing. So what this is going to show you is your break-even point. They're saying it's going to take you 12 months to have a break-even point. We know it's a little different today, but that's just as an example. I'd say as the moment you close on this property at $515, it's worth $515 because that's the new value for it set for the neighborhood, and everything else will catch up. But this is showing you a 5-year. So in a 5-year forecasted appreciation, it's saying that this property is going to go up $178,803. And remember, this is only a 6.66 appreciation. Modesto has not seen a 6.67 appreciation in probably 5 years. We've seen higher than that. But if we just do an average, so this is where you are now, right? Today. This is where you are next year.
Yeah,
517, and that's only with a 6% appreciation. So it's saying if you do nothing else, and then we appreciate as the national average, which is the 6.6, you're going to be over that. Your value is going to go up to where you could sell it for what you paid for it by next, actually over what you paid for it next year. This is just to show the appreciation, but I'm going to tell you right now, we're going up, between 20 to 24% right now. I'm not going to say it's going to stay doing that number, but it's just, even if we just the 6.6 shows you it's a good thing to go ahead and do bid over asking and not worrying about whether or not you can afford it, when meaning that if the value is going to come in there. So let's go. So now we showed this. Let's just say why. How can you do this? How can you go over asking if you don't have the $46,000? Right?
Yeah.
So how can you do that?
Well, there's lots of ways. Obviously, you could borrow from your 401k. If you have
But what all we're doing right now is showing that we have the money, right? When you write the offer, right? We're not bringing in the money right now. We're just showing that you have access to the money, because maybe the value will come in at 515 when we do the appraisal, because maybe it'll only come in at 510, but that's only 5,000 out of pocket that you might have to do at top of your down payment that you're not ready for. What I'm getting at is all this stuff is showing potentially that you have the money to write that offer and write over asking. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to need to, because the value is going to come in. It's just not being nervous about being able to show, just in case, this is where I can get the access to this money if I need it. That's what I'm talking about. Basically, as you said, talk to your parents, talk to somebody, have the 401k there in case you need the money out of it. Talk to parents about a gift in case you need it, and provide, have them give a bank statement showing that they have access to that. If they go over, this is where they're going to have access. Because what a lot of people don't realize is when you write an offer, not only with what you did with the lender on my side, I have to see all the documents and see how much money you have, all that. But you guys have to show that they have the money for the down payment and they have the money for the earnest money deposit when you write the offer, right?
Yeah, especially in this market, because people are just writing stuff so far over, and honestly, sometimes people who don't do their due diligence, they get in contract with somebody who never had that money. So if you don't get a proof of funds, basically it doesn't matter what you offer. You could offer $1 million. If if they don't have the money to go above and beyond appraisal to meet their offer, then it doesn't matter.
Right. So it's important to show that you have access to that money. And that's all we're talking about today. Don't worry about writing over asking, because you're going to have to in this market, even more so than we've ever, because of the fact of our limited inventory. That's just how it is. And it's going to be that way for a very long time. Each year is going to get worse than the year before. I can't believe that, but that's basically what we're seeing. But when things, keep appreciating, then people put their houses on the market, but still it's not enough house. So this has never been a better time as a seller. I mean, we keep saying that every time we talk about it. But each time it's more true than the last time we said it. Is more, if you can sell your house now and you don't need to buy another one, it is the best time to sell.
Yeah, it's such a strong seller's market. I mean, let's put it this way. So that house that went for $46,000 over, right? That was the offer that got accepted. They had 24 offers in total. I mean, and that price point, that's just incredible. I mean, a couple of years ago, if you had something around, 305, 315, you'd see that. But when we're talking about something that's, 470,000, that means there's a lot of competition still, a lot of buyers, a lot of qualified buyers, and we need more sellers selling their homes.
But you understand that this, for what you just said, was the old 300 and something 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's become crazy,
Yeah, that's the problem, is people don't realize the ones that they were fighting on for 325 and 330 are now the 4 something, almost the 500,000. Those are the same houses that everybody's been fighting for.
And I bet a year from now we'll come back and do a show talking about how there's 25 offers on a house that was 515.
530. They're already there. I mean, conventional is up to 647, 250 now, so that you're going to have that all the way up to that. You're going to have multiple offers on that. The other time that you run into is if you're in the 450 range and below, right? When you're doing FHA, what you kind of just said, because that's 420 is the max loan amount. Actually, I think it's higher than that. What is it? Let me check my book. Keep talking while I check my book.
I was going to say, so for those buyers that I have that may not have access to extra cash, things like that.
All right, hold on. That could have been an FHA offer, because the loan amount 460 is what the FHA loan limit is in our area.
Oh, okay.
Because that means you could write an offer for 480 easily and still be FHA.
Yeah. But so what I try and do for the buyers that maybe don't have the proof of funds, we can write an offer and be honest about it, is that we go back and look at things that might have come back on the market, or things that might have some repairs, or, sometimes people just, when you see a house that's completely redone and it's move-in ready, it's really appealing and it draws a lot of buyers. But sometimes you got to look for that diamond in the rough that needs a little bit of work, but you'll actually, buy it for 50,000 less.
Right, but that's, but you have to be okay with the loan that you're working on. Or what I tell people to do, maybe it doesn't have enough bathrooms for you right now, and you have enough room to add that bathroom where somebody else wouldn't want that to do that. You could still do that, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm have a live in a little bit, and they're asking my address.
No, not a problem. Yeah, so I mean, it's a really tough market as far as being on the buyer side. Seller side, it's the better you market the house, the more traffic you're going to get. This house was obviously, had great photographs, and they had an open house, which gave everyone an opportunity to come through. When I pulled up, it was just swarming with people.
Right.
So, and it's nice to see that again, but it was in a great school district, gorgeous house. Everything's completely redone. I mean,
right.
It's the house everyone wants.
Right. And they're going to write over because the value is going to be there. It's just like new homes. How do they set the value? They set the value.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, yeah. And that's what we're running into. Basically, long story short, we're going to have these issues going forward. You have to be okay with that. You need to work with somebody that's really good at what they do, agent wise and lender wise, so that they can look at many different scenarios for you. If you were going to put 5% down or 10% down and you want to write over, maybe you say, okay, I'm only going to put 5% down. The other 5% I'm going to put towards going over, or 2%, whatever that number is. Just adjust your numbers down lower so that you could do that. If you're close on the FHA and conventional guy, maybe you look at conventional pricing because people prefer conventional over FHA and that kind of stuff. So and there's a lot of stuff to do here. It's just, we kind of want to say these are the scenarios you're going to run into. Don't be discouraged. Let's see if we can work a way around it. And one of the ways is to see if there's an extra money that you could get from somebody else, just in case you might need $5,000 to go when you're writing over asking.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what we want to talk about. So your call to action today is get pre-qualified, get pre-approved. The next step, start shopping, but understand, let's look at what if we run into this, because you're going 9 times out of 10, you're going to run into this in this price point, because again, that price point is the FHA loan limit. So how you get around that is to go above those limits. Then you take all the FHA buyers out. Now you're only what's there for conventional. So
yeah.
So that's the 500 and above. That's probably why they wrote that offer, because that meant only conventional would be going from there on.
Yeah. No, it's a very competitive offer, and we'll keep looking. But
and again, this is a hypothetical situation.
Yes.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
123 Main Street.
That's right. All right. And even though I had the address of some address close to where I live, I just grabbed an address to do the whole thing. That wasn't the address we were talking about. They want to put that little caveat in there. So don't be sending them letters that, hey, I see you sold your house or you bought your house. No, that was not them. That was just made up. Anyway, and I want to thank, the people who showed up and watched this. If you're watching after the fact, just let us know if you like what we're doing by following us. And again, thank you Bobby for being here today.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.